Hello viewers, welcome back to our session based on contracts management. In this session, we will discuss about four major topics. First one is scrutiny of tenders. Second one is rejecting the lower tender. Third one is termination of contract, and last one is responsibilities of contractors and owners. So let us start with scrutiny of tender. In the scrutinization of the tender, first of all, we have to collect the tender. So after the submission of the tender by the contractor, the owner has to list out based on the amount in series. So you can see on your slide, for example, we have taken the construction firm which name is A, B, C and D. Here you can see on your slide the last row shows that the original estimated value of the project, and depending upon the original value of the estimated of the construction work calculated by the owner, so the contractor has filled the quote. So based upon the quote, we have to list out based on the amount. Here you can see in the table, the first column shows that the series number, second one the name of the firm, and the third one is amount of tender, and the fourth one is position based upon the amount of the project. And a remark if mentioned by the contractor or owner. So first of all, we have to list out and finalize the contractor based upon the lower bid. So this is the simple process. First of all, we have to list out the all the contractor based upon the quote filled by the contractor, and then we have to select the lower bid. Next one is it should be checked and verified by the owner. The each tender is duly signed and contains the address of the contractor, because if the contractor are submitting the tender documents, so all documents contain the sign of the contractors, because there may be chances of the fraud by the other contractors. Next one is it should be seen that whether the contractor has claimed any extra percentage rate over or above the quoted rate offered by the rebate. Accordingly, the tender amount should be modified. So if the modified of the amount of the tender, so there may be chances of the offer can be rebate by the contractor. It may be allowed if the amount of tender is modified by the client. In case of lump sum contract, we already discussed about the lump sum contract. So in the lump sum contract, the contractor has to quote the rate based upon the particular value to do that work. And in that case, not likely to involve any extra. It is little or no importance to the owner how the different contractor has carry out on their calculation. So in the lump sum contract, owner is offering the particular type of the work, and the contractors quote the lump sum value to do that work. But owner will be selected based on the lower bid of the contractor. So owner will not interfere. Interest of owner will not be the how the contractors is calculated that quote. So owner has to just give that work based upon the lower bid. So that's all. Next one is in case of the measurement, the contractor the total cost based upon the estimated quantities. In general case, the estimated quantities are given by the owner, and contractor will analyze that, and contractor estimated quantity and with respect to the rate of that activity, so he will quote the particular type of the tender. So if the estimated quantity is displayed by the owner, and so in that case total amount will not be final consideration for the both parties, because if the quantity will change, so in that case there will be change the final amount of the contract. So contract will not award to contractor based upon the total amount of the tender applied by the contractor. There will be analyzed the how the contractor fill the rates based upon the quantity, and if the quantity will change, so the amount of the applied by the contractor will be changed. So in that case, the total amount will be not considered if the client offered the particular quantity of the work. So in that case, the total amount of the work cannot be considered for the final decision. Next one is, in case of any serious mistake in committed by the contractor while working, the cost and the work is awarded to him, and the contractor here is obliged to carry out the work in spite of the great financial loss. For example, after the offering the particular tender by the client, and the contractor by mistake he quote the lower rate to do that work. So after the realizing by the contractor, he quoted the rate wrongly. So after the quoting of wrong rate by the contractor and accepting by the owner side, so contractor has to do that work. Even the great financial loss by the contractor is happen. So if the contractor refuse that work, so there may be chances of forfeit of the EMD, earnest money deposit. It is approximately 2 to 3% of the total cost of the project. So if the contractor quote the wrongly, and after the accepting that contract by the owner side, contractor has to do that work. If the contractor refuse that, so there will be forfeit of EMD, means there will not be a refund of the EMD from the client to the contractor. It is approximately 1 to 2% of the total cost of the work. And there may be also legal action taken by the owner for the breach of the contract by the contractor. This is the important point in the tender process. And next one is, in such case, the client may grant the contractor opportunity to revoke an offer, means step back for offer or the corrector and the resubmit for the same. For example, if you are owner from the private consultant, and for example, I am a contractor, you are offering a particular type of the work, and I'm accepting that, and I am doing mistake while filling the code to do that work. So if you are realize that this mistake is not intensely done by me, so there may be chances the client or owner can give one more chance for the resubmit of that, and owner will allow to revoke that code of the tender. Now let us discuss one another case. If other case, if the owner is satisfied with the fact that mistake is genuine and has committed unintentionally, and he may award the work to the next lower bidder and save the contractor from the embarrassment. For example, if client or owner is not allowed to resubmit of the quote, but by mistake contractor quote wrong rate, so in that case contractor will allow to revoke of that work from the tender process, and owner or client will offer that work this next lower bidder of the list. So that contractor will revoke from that tender process. Now let us discuss about rejecting the lower tender. There are the many reasons for the rejecting of the tender. Let us start with the first point, which is when the tender is informal. We already discussed about the contract. Contract should be formal, enforced by the law. If the contract document is informal, so it means the tender is informal. For example, contractor doesn't submit the EMD, contractor didn't give the information about their firms, contractor didn't explain about the past experience of their firm. So there are the many reasons for the informal of tender. Next one is if there is any condition of the unusual character and the any uncertainty. We can consider demonetization, we can consider GST situation, we can consider COVID-19 situation. So there are the many situations. It is out of control with the contractor or client. Next one is if the contractor has quote abnormally low rates. If contractor wants to do that work anyhow, so he will try bid lower rate. But owner or contractor can understand that the, at below rate there is not possible to complete that work. So there may be chances of the abnormally low rate filled by the contractor, and there is a particular provision infringes any standard rule or order of higher authority. Next reason is if any of the pages of the tender are removed or replaced. For example, contractor has submitted the tender document to owner's office, but there is a missing of the any pages and replacement of the any pages. So there may be chances of the rejecting of tender. Next reason is if the tender has inadequate finance capacity. Next one is contractor has inadequate staff. And the last one is tender has inadequate equipments. As we know, to complete that work, contractor has the capacity to do that work. These are the main factors: financial, staff members, technical person, and the equipments to complete that work. So this is all about the rejecting of tender. Now let us discuss about termination of contract. There are the five type of the termination of contract. First one is termination by performance, termination by agreement, termination by breach, termination by impossibility of performance, and last one is termination by the provision of law. Let us discuss one by one in detail. So first one is termination by performance. Termination means to complete that contract with the both parties. It means when the contract is carried out as per the terms and conditions and the completed satisfactory work done by the contractor, and it will be treated as a terminate. It means after the offering of the contract, after the offering of the project from the client side, and contractor will complete their work with terms and condition which has been mentioned in the contract. It means after the completing all the tasks with terms and condition, it means the contract will be terminated. It means the completion of that project. Second one is termination by agreement. Sometime in construction, the agreements is happens between the two parties. We already clear about that. What is the difference between agreement and contract? Agreement doesn't require enforcement of the law, and it is not generally in written. So the parties concerned, the owner and the contractor can make an agreement at any stage of the work. The termination of the contract will be happen. For example, if the construction work, after the 50% of the construction work, client and contractor will decide to terminate this contract. It means now they will not do that work together. Now let us discuss about the termination by breach. If this is the another case In this case, if the contractor does not follow the terms and conditions which has been mentioned in the contract, contractor doesn't maintain the quality of the work, contractor doesn't follow all the rules and regulations of which has been mentioned in the contract. So in that case, breach of the contract may be happen, and after the breach of the contract, there is termination will be happen by the breach. Next one is termination by impossibility of performance due to the unexpected or abnormal conditions. It is practically impossible the contractor to complete the work. The contract can be terminated. For example, demonetization situation. For example, COVID-19 situation. For example, if any major changes regarded to the financial, for example, GST rules and regulations. So in that case, there may be chances to complete that work impossible for the both parties. So the termination by the impossibility of the performance. And the last one is termination by provision of law. For example, a contractor can be terminated by the operation of various provisions of the provisions law. For example, bankruptcy. So, if any one party doesn't follow the laws, means if the contract is not enforced by law, so there may be chances of the termination by the provision of law. So this is all about the termination of contract. Now let us discuss about responsibilities of the contractors and owners. Let us start with contractor. So contractor has to finish all the materials, labors, equipment, etc. Next one is the contractor has to appoint a qualified person to provide the technical knowledge to the site. Next one is contractor's responsibility date for the any damage the person or adjoining the properties. Next one is contractor has to carry out the work as per the specifications, drawings and terms and conditions which has been mentioned in the contract. Contractor has to respect and follow the labor's laws and they pay them on regular basis. It's the responsibility of the contractors. And they intimate this supervising engineer before the taking up any new item and before the covering of any work. The next one is contractor has to submit the bill of the work when requirement is arises in the billing process. Next and the last one is contractor has to follow the contract conditions which has been mentioned in the tender documents. Now let us discuss about responsibilities of owner. First one is owner has to give the site to the contractor with the land clearance and surveys. The second one is the owner's responsibility is that to representative must look after the technical supervisor, and then if the necessary plans and the drawings not unnecessary delay. And the next responsibility is owner has to supply the plans and drawings to the contractor so there may be not a delay of the project. And the next one is the owners should not interfere with the work progress of the work, and the owner has to regular payment to the contractor with the running bills. And the next one is contract cannot be suspended temporarily by owner. And the last one is it is the responsibility of owner there to record the measurement of items before the cover up. So this is all about the responsibility of owner. So after this session you may clear about scrutinization of tender, rejecting lower tenders, and termination of contract. And we have already discussed about the responsibility of contractor and owner. Thank you.